Hey guys, this is Stinger, and today I'm going to be doing a little update of my Project Greyfell custom computer that I have built. I built it quite a while ago, and I've just been upgrading it as I go. And the main upgrade that I have not yet shown in any YouTube video is the new graphics card. I'll get to that. I'm just going to go through everything as it is right now. The case is an MSI Barricade mid-tower ATX case, and as far as mid-towers go, this is actually quite a small mid-tower. Initially I had a lot of trouble fitting the wiring in when I had a CX750 power supply, but now that I have an HX750, which is modular, I was able to redo all the wiring very neatly and get it all to fit in there very compact. So now I actually like that this is a slightly smaller sized mid-tower, just because now it doesn't take up like a large portion of my room. You know, it isn't this super large imposing thing. It fits in there very nicely and neatly, and looks very professional, being that it is not like extremely large. While we're out front here, I'll just mention that this is an LG24X DVD CD read-write drive. I don't use it a whole lot, but it is there just so that when I need to, I can burn discs or read from discs, and you know, play any games that I have on disc as well. Now on to the internals of the case. The motherboard is a Z77A-G45 made by MSI. As far as motherboards go, it kind of lacks a lot of the features that you will see in higher end boards like an ASUS ROG board or something like that. The overclocking on this is not extremely easy to do. It tries to limit you in a lot of ways. I've found I have been able to overclock, but I feel like the experience would be a lot easier, and I'd probably be able to achieve more with like an ASUS Maximus or something. Regardless, I'm probably not going to be switching out the board just because that's more work than I think it will be worth. Just something for the future that I will keep in mind eventually when I get a new computer, which is probably quite a ways off. However, the blue and black tones match the color of the rest of the build very well. You can see the case is black and blue, so it works very well, but it doesn't have a lot of the higher end features. Now my CPU is a i7-3770K, made of course by Intel. I have overclocked it to 4.2 gigahertz, and it is being liquid cooled by this Corsair H60 that has one of the Corsair silent fans at the back. The H60 is quite nice. I like it. It allows me to overclock slightly higher than the stock cooler or a regular air cooler, and it's very good because I do a lot of video editing, of course. All of the videos that I have edited in like the past 2.5 years all went through this machine. So I do After Effects, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, Illustrator, all of that on this. So having that powerful CPU in there is very nice, as well as the liquid cooling. Something else that helps a lot with that is the RAM, which I went slightly overkill on. This is Corsair Dominator Platinum memory. The only reason I got this extremely expensive memory is because I got a good deal on it. This is 16 gigabytes in DDR3, 2 sticks, dual channel at 1600 megahertz. Like I said, very expensive, and even though I did get a deal, it was still fairly expensive as far as RAM goes. But because I do a lot of editing, I can sort of justify the added price, as these do perform very well as far as RAM goes, and they are very reliable. They've been screened very highly by Corsair, so they're guaranteed to run very reliably at their clock speeds. Now, I mentioned before, the most recent upgrade is the new video card. This is an ASUS GTX 780 from Nvidia. Very large card, but also extremely powerful and very nice. It has ASUS's new DirectCU 2 with a back plate on here as well to keep it rigid. I like that because my old 660 Ti would kind of sag down. The back plate holds it nice and straight and does not allow it to bend down like that. Like I said, this is very powerful. I use it when gaming. It's able to push the pixels of very high-end games in the highest settings at very good frame rates. So I like that a lot, but I also use it as GPU acceleration using CUDA in my editing programs, especially Premiere Pro. It allows the color grading effects that I use to be applied in real time without having to rely on the CPU for that, and it means that I can do a lot of effects all layered on top of one another in Premiere Pro, and I can watch it in real time without it lagging or without me having to do a render preview of it, just because the GPU will handle a lot of that parallel processing and speed that up quite a bit. It does also speed up the ending encode time when it goes through that for the final pass. That's also very nice, so I do put this thing to a lot of use. So I'm running two drives here. The top one is a Samsung 840 Pro SSD, 128 gigabytes, very fast drive. I use it to load all of my editing software, my operating system of course, some of the games that I play, and I also use it as an editing cache. So I'm able to render out previews very quickly to that, and I'm able to put my final encodes onto that, which I can then store later on this, which is my storage drive. This is a 1 terabyte 7200 RPM drive made by Western Digital, so this is a WD Black. Like I said, 1 terabyte, so it's got quite a lot of space. I'm able to store all kinds of data on it. I store a lot of the Airsoft gameplay on that, like from the current season, and then it gets backed up to a 3 terabyte drive that is external. So this stores all of that stuff. This is what I typically record to when I'm recording video game gameplay with Fraps, and it stores all of my other data, documents, images, music, audio, a lot of the editing assets that I use. That all goes onto this. I have a dedicated audio card in here, which is very nice, especially for editing, because I have very accurate sound reproduction. When this pumps out all the audio through analog into my Razer Tiamat through 5 analog channels. So I have that set up to go straight to my headset, which is very nice. It's all done through analog with full 7.1 analog surround sound. Finally, this is my HX750 power supply from Corsair. Like I said, it is modular, so I was able to clean up the massive bundle of wires that I had down here. I went over that in a previous video, but other than that, I mean, this is a fairly efficient power supply as well. It doesn't make any noise. I haven't heard any coil whine from it either. And the fan does not always even need to run to keep it cool just because of its efficiency. So, got a little bit of dust on that. So, that is a full update of my custom-built computer project Greyfell. I hope this maybe inspired you to build your own computer, or perhaps just gave you some information that you were looking for in wondering what I use or something like that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.